Hey y'all, welcome back to Side 4 Music Club, and I wanted to do something a little bit different for my first video of 2023. I want to take a look back at all of the vinyl that I got in 2022. Now, keep in mind, I did not start collecting until September, I believe. So September of 2022 is when I started collecting, and I've already amassed quite a bit. Now, full disclosure, my brother, who is a huge vinyl collector, he hooked me up with what we've called the Instant Vinyl Collection, 106 albums. That's right, so this video is going to be a little bit longer today, so let's just see what we've got. Now, a lot of the records from his collection are ones that he had from back in the day, like when he was a teenager in the early 80s and, you know, all throughout that. So a lot of them aren't in the greatest of shape. But hey, I'm happy to have a lot of these. And a lot of them are it's stuff that I don't necessarily know. I haven't heard before. So I'm interested in getting through this. Now, that's enough jibber jabber to get started. Before we go though, since you probably won't make it till the end of the video, do me a favor. Thumbs up this or subscribe and all that kind of stuff, because it really helps me out. Now anyway, let's go ahead and get started. Now the first album up is one from the Instant record collection, and it's not in great shape, but hey, it's Atom Bomb. As you can see from this cover, it's in pretty rough condition, but this is one that he originally got way back in... He got this on January 11th, 1986, which incidentally was my 7th birthday, and if you can see on the inside, he wrote notes in a lot of these. And it says Benji's 7th birthday. So there you go, Atom Bomb. I don't know a lot about Atom Bomb. I've heard some of the stuff before, but I haven't listened to this album all the way through. Now up next, we've got one from Eric Burdon and the Animals. This is Winds of Change. And as you can see, it's in a plastic sleeve. This isn't one from his, from his childhood or teenage whatever collection. But this is another one that he gave me. Now, I know, obviously the hits of the Animals, but I haven't listened to this one yet. So I'm looking forward to it, and I will get to it eventually. Now, up next is another one that I don't know anything about, and this is one of the cool things of this collection is getting a bunch of stuff like this. Razzie Bailey, a little more Raz. Don't know anything about Razzie Bailey, but I'm interested in checking this out and listening to it and seeing, what this is. So... if you know who Razzie Bailey is and think I should bump it up on my listening order, let me know in the comments. Now here you go. The Beatles, Let It Be. This isn't one of the, the current reissues or whatever. I don't know if it's an original pressing or whatnot, but hey, like, pressings don't generally matter to me. I just want the albums in my collection, and I just want them, because you never know when something's going to vanish from streaming and you want to listen to it. Well, hey, I have it right here. And this is the only Beatles album in my vinyl collection. Crazy. I mean, obviously I got a bunch of their CDs, but not albums yet. This one here, I don't know what this is. It doesn't have a cover, but it was thrown in here. This is The Greatest Thing in the World by the Foundation for Human Betterment. So I don't know if this was a joke or if what this is, but eventually I'll listen to it. I have no clue what that is. Now, this is Pat Benatar with Crimes of Passion. He gave me a good bit of Pat Benatar albums, and I don't know a whole lot about Pat Benatar. I know her hits, obviously. Everybody knows her hits, but I haven't really delved in and listened to a lot of the albums, so I'm looking forward to checking these out. And this one happens to have one of my all-time favorite song titles on it. Even if you haven't heard the song, if you hear the title, you want to hear the song. It's called Hell Is for Children. Yeah. Another Pat Benatar. This one is Precious Time. And this one is another one that's got his writing on the inside of it. This one was bought on May 15th, 1982 at Rose's for $7.97. See, I like having things like that in the collection. Because, while it may not mean anything to other people, it means a lot to me. And really, isn't that what any collection is about? Just meaning something to you? Here's another Pat Benatar, Live from Earth. Another live, well, not another live album, but a live album got, Hit Me With Your Best Shot, Heartbreaker, Love Is a Battlefield, Fire and Ice, and of course, Hell Is for Children. And how about one more Pat Benatar album? It's Pat Benatar with Tropics. Don't know much about this one. Is there a note on the inside? Nope, there is no note on the inside of this one. So, eventually I'm going to get through all of these. And of those, if you've heard them all, which ones do you prefer? Let me know. Now, see, all of them did not come from this instant collection. I did get some of them on my own. Okay? So, up first is one that I found at a Goodwill for $1. And this band is one that I always overlooked and never really paid much attention to. I obviously knew a couple of their big hits, but for some reason I always blew them off. And this album, everybody says is their best, and I love this album. It's Blue Oyster Cult with Secret Treaties. You can still see my $1 Goodwill sticker on it. But this is a damn good album, and I'm so glad that I picked it up. Now, here you go. Here's another Blue Oyster Cult, Agents of Fortune. And of course, this is the one with Don't Fear the Reaper on it. So even if you've got nothing else, Don't Fear the Reaper. I'm going to try to speed this up a little bit because this is going to take a million years. This is Blue Oyster Cult with Some Enchanted Evening. It's got a bunch of live, well, not a bunch, but, some live stuff from Secret Treaties. And, it's Don't Fear the Reaper, Godzilla, We Gotta Get Out of This Place, and even a cover of Kick Out the Jams. I haven't listened to this one yet, but it is on my list. In fact, all of these are obviously on my list. Another Blue Oyster Cult album, this is Mirrors, another one that I haven't listened to yet, and this might be one of the reasons why I blew them off when I was younger. Look at them. Look at that picture. Yeah. Good thing they sound a lot better than they look. Speaking of sounding a lot better, one of the best debut albums of all time. Boston's self-titled debut. You just read this track listing on here, and this is a greatest hits album. It's not a debut. You've got More Than a Feeling, Peace of Mind, Foreplay, Long Time, Rock and Roll Band, Smokin', Hitch a Ride, Something About You, and Let Me Take You Home Tonight. Kick-ass album. Everybody should own this in some capacity. Alright, now here's one that I picked up around Christmas time at Walmart. A lot of people talk shit about buying albums at Walmart, but hey, they don't make the albums, they just sell them. And this one, another one of the greatest albums of all time. Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars by David Bowie. What else can you say? And from the reissue pressings of the Bowie stuff that I found have all sounded fantastic, so I have no issues with them. And this one was $22 at Walmart. I don't mind paying that. And here's another one. I got this one from, I believe, Amazon. It's another one of the Bowie reissues. It's Low. I only had this previously on digital. I didn't have a physical copy on CD, so I went ahead and picked it up on vinyl. And goddamn, this album sounds good. I was never a huge fan of like the instrumentals before, but yeah, they sound fantastic. And here you go. Here's my first, and I believe only in the collection so far, counterfeit or bootleg or whatever you want to call it. It's the Buddha of Suburbia. David Bowie's soundtrack to the the British TV show. I have this on CD. I've had it for many years, but apparently the vinyl, it's either out of print or something. But check it out. Look how cool that looks. It's like this marbled swirl light blue. It looks freaking awesome. It looks awesome. Here you go. Here's another one that didn't have a real official cover. That he didn't, I don't know. But it's the Best of Bread. Haven't listened to this one yet. I know a lot of these songs. Everybody knows a lot of these songs. But it's the Best of Bread. That's what I like about this collection, is there's a lot of variety in it. Sorry, I'm trying to... Alright. There's a lot of variety in it, and I can appreciate variety. Here you go. Oh, Garth Brooks Legacy Vinyl Box Set. Was never a huge Garth Brooks fan back in the day, but I can appreciate him. And so it's nice to have 5 Garth Brooks albums. You got No Fences, The Chase, In Pieces, Fresh Horses, and Triple Live. I remember seeing this before I was collecting. I think I saw them in like dollar stores or whatever. It was in like a Dollar General or something. I don't know. I guess they just overpressed them and whatever. But hey, I'm glad to have it. I've listened to, I think, No Fences, but I haven't listened to the rest of them yet. Here you go. How about this one? Here Comes Pure Love, Mayor Baba. I don't know much about this, but, you know, it's 1982 from North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. And obviously a huge part of The Who. Here you go. How about Found All the Parts, Cheap Trick's EP from, the early 80s? Well, from 1980. So it's cool to have this. This is, I believe, my only 10-inch, whatever size this is, 10-inch in the collection. And I friggin' love Cheap Trick. Speaking of Cheap Trick, how about at Budokan? I think I have I know I have it on CD as well. I think I have the full concert on CD. But there you go. Cheap Trick. Like I said, I love Cheap Trick. Here's another one that's in pretty shabby condition. The cover looks like it got stuck to something and pulled apart. Cheap Trick 1-on-1. You know, with John Brandt in the band after Tom Peterson left, and produced by Roy Thomas Baker. How about Next Position Please? Fantastic album. I love this period, and this one was produced by Todd Rundgren. And Cheap Trick has worked with a whole lot of good producers over the years. And let's get into some Alice Cooper. We got Schools Out. This isn't one of the fancy, fold out. This is just a regular sleeve, so it's a reissue, but Schools Out, obviously a classic album. Here's one that I remembered from being a kid, and I don't remember, you never see anything about this album. I remembered it from back in the day, and then now. Alice Cooper, A Man Called Alice, which is a reissue of From the Inside, it's a reissue of Muscle of Love and Lace and Whiskey, which I don't understand why that was released in 1987. Why those two albums were released, I don't know, but hey. And the picture is from the Strange Case of Alice Cooper? From the Madhouse Rocks tour? Weird. Here we go. Alice Cooper, Flush the Fashion, 80. This is another one that I listened to all of the time when I was a kid. So I'm, excited to have this back on vinyl because this brings me back to the day. In fact, I had it where I ended up recording it on cassette or something from it. And then so the skipping that was on the album then ended up on the tape, and so that's how I always associated the song. I know, kind of stupid, but hey, it is what it is. Another one from the Instant Collection, Alice Cooper's Zipper Catch a Skin. This is another one that I listened to way back in the day. I love Alice. He's one of my favorite artists. Alice Cooper Dada, 1983, an album that everybody overlooks, including Alice himself. In fact, I don't think a single song from this album has ever been played live, which is a shame because there's some good stuff on there, and that opening track Dada is just creepy as all get out. Here's one I bought. It was on the It was like a Black Friday sale or something like that. I bought it from New West Records. Alice Cooper, Dirty Diamonds, his 2004 album, which I did a whole unboxing if you saw it. And it's the Galaxy red and black vinyl, which is kind of hard to see, but the Galaxy red and black vinyl. Great album. They never should have put Stand on the album, but they did. What can you do about it? All right, here you go. Dennis DeYoung with Desert Moon. Dennis DeYoung. I don't know much of his solo stuff, so looking forward to hearing it. Here's one I got from Walmart at their Black Friday $15 deals. Dio, Holy Diver. What can you say about Holy Diver? Oh, it's a classic. It's a early 80s metal classic. So I was happy to get that. Duran Duran. Self-titled Duran Duran. This is the version, obviously, with Is There Something I Should Know on it. And check this out on the back. This is from my brother's collection. Kiss is number 1. Did he write anything on the inside? Oh, he did. Saturday, April 7th, 1984. This was his second Duran Duran album. Duran Duran, 7 and the Ragged Tiger. You know, obviously with the Reflex and New Moon on Monday, Union of the Snake. I love Duran Duran. Dave Edmunds, Repeat When Necessary. This is another one I don't know anything about, but hey, looks like it's in kind of shabby condition as well, but hey, eventually I will get through all of these and listen to them all. Edwin Birdsong, Supernatural. I did listen to this one. This is some cool funk. Edwin Birdsong, 1973. Supernatural. Here you go. ELO with Face the Music. And this one is from the music library of Shannon Mudd. So thank you, Shannon Mudd. It's the album with Evil Woman, Strange Magic. ELO. We've got ELO Discovery. Now this one I bought at Goodwill for $1. I found it in there. Obviously, you know, Discovery is a great album. It's got Don't Bring Me Down, Shine a Little Love, you know, classic ELO. And the crazy thing is I forgot that Discovery was in the Instant collection. So I've got 2 copies of it. Up next, Fleetwood Mac, Mirage. I've never been a super huge Fleetwood Mac fan. I don't dislike them. I never have. But I listened to that album when Christine McVie passed. Good stuff. Here you go. Here's Fleetwood Mac with Tusk. So it's the 2 disc or the 2 album set. Good stuff. I haven't listened to that one yet. And here's one I remember from when I was a kid, listening to a lot. Ace Frehley, Frehley's Comet. Obviously, you know I'm a huge Kiss fan, and I listened to this one a lot back in the day. Is there any notes in this one? Yes, there is. It's he bought this May 7th, 1987. Welcome back, Ace. Welcome back, Ace, indeed. Here's one I haven't ever heard before. Full Force, Smooth. Don't know about it. But like I said, I love discovering stuff. Generation X with Kiss Me Deadly. I did listen to this, and I'm not going to lie, I didn't enjoy this too much. It's got, obviously, Dancing with Myself and Untouchables on it. But, yeah, I don't know. I just could never get into this that much. I like Billy Idol, but yeah, that just didn't do much for me. Soundtrack for Hair. This is an album that my stepdad used to love. I remember that. Haven't listened to it yet. Or I haven't heard it since, I guess, back then. Heart. Dog and Butterfly. Heart is a fantastic band that gets overlooked a lot. Fantastic. This is an album cover that I remember from back in the day, but I don't think I ever listened to it back then. It's Honeymoon Suite. This album cover, I remember from way back then. And that's what a lot of this is about. History with me. Personal history. And this one I remember. Hooters, Nervous Night. And of course, the huge hit, And We Danced, is on this one. Here you go. Isley Brothers, 3+3, featuring That Lady. Can't go wrong with some Isley Brothers. No, you can't. Here is Blows Against the Empire. Dave Kantner, and Jefferson Starship. Huh. On the side it just says Blows Against the Empire, Paul Kantner. But yeah, there you go. Here's Jefferson Starship, Modern Times. This is another one that I remember him having back in the day. So it's cool to have these, I can't express how cool it is for me to have some of these things that I remember from back in, my childhood. Now here's one that I picked up from Goodwill again. And I saw the cover, and it cracked me up, and I saw the band name, and I'm like, I gotta buy it. I don't care what it is. The Jelly Bean Bandits. The Jelly Bean Bandits. And then when I added it into my Discogs account, I saw that apparently it's kind of rare, and it's worth a little bit. So I listened to it, and guess what? I liked it. Some psychedelic. Good stuff. Good stuff. Jay Giles Band, Freeze Frame. What else can you say about Jay Giles Band? Freeze Frame, Centerfold. That's all you really need to know. Now this one is kind of a lie. I didn't get this one in 2022. I got it, honestly, 2023. It's Thriller. 40th anniversary edition of Thriller. So, technically this is not gotten in 2022. But hey, that's the only one. Everything else was 2022. Bobby Jameson. Working. Don't know anything about Bobby Jameson, but he's working. Carole King, Wrap Around Joy. This is another Goodwill album. $1 from Goodwill. Basically, if I see any Goodwill albums of artists that I know or I recognize, I will pick it up for $1. I mean, why the hell not? Kiss, Dressed to Kill. Terrible shape. But these were his albums from back then. These are probably the same ones that I listened to when I was a kid. Destroyer. You gotta have Destroyer. And of course it's got the inner sleeve, the Shout It Out Loud Kiss Army. So, good stuff. Love Gun. And with look, it's autographed. It's autographed. Granted, I think he signed it. But hey, it is what it is. It's Love Gun. Speaking of Love Gun, it's Love Gun. Another copy of Love Gun. This is the one that I remember, because I remember all this writing and these little stamps when I was a kid. I don't know if those are A-Team stampers which I may have stamped it back then. I don't know. Kiss Double Platinum. Obviously, you know, their first greatest hits collection. And now let's get into the solo albums. There's Gene Simmons' solo album. I don't know if any of these have... I think at least one of them has the poster. Gene doesn't. Here's Peter Criss, which it's got the inner sleeve, but that's it on that one. Here's another copy of Peter Criss, and this one has the inner sleeve and the poster, and I don't know if it has the oh yeah, and it's got the other insert in there as well. So crazy. Here's Ace Frehley. I don't know why he colored everything red on it, but hey. Here is Ace Frehley again. So, of all the solo albums, my favorite solo album personally is Paul Stanley's, and he didn't give me Paul Stanley's. What's up with that, Chris? But he did give me Best of the Solo Albums. This is another one that I remember from being a kid, because I remember, you know, it's amazing the things you remember that you never think about. Now, hang on a second. I got to make some room. All right, here we go. Kiss Dynasty. Dynasty. This is the album that was released the year I was released. Kiss Unmasked. If you didn't know, Kiss is my all-time favorite band, so having these is awesome. Kiss Killers. You know, it was never released in America. It may have been released by now. Here is Creatures of the Night, the half-speed remaster, the 40th anniversary edition. I picked that up, and it's pretty good. It sounds good. I enjoy it. And obviously, Creatures is a classic Kiss album. Kiss Monster. I picked this one up from Amazon, and I like some of the songs on this album. The production is awful. It sounds terrible. Here's another Goodwill album. Chris Christopherson and Rita Coolidge with Full Moon. I listened to this one already, and I enjoyed it. Cyndi Lauper, She's So Unusual. Obviously, Girls Just Want to Have Fun. She Bop. Cyndi Lauper. John Lennon, Plastic Ono Band, Shaved Fish. Loverboy, Keep It Up. You can tell this is, I mean, you can see all the, let's see, did he get this one? Oh man, he's got a whole bunch of writing in here. He got it at Walmart. June 25th, 1983. There's also some kind of, oh, I guess lyric sheet on the inside as well, which is kind of cool. Here is Loretta Lynn. What's the name of the album? Wouldn't It Be Great? And it's still sealed, and it's got an autographed picture in there as well. I don't know if you can see it because of this. Yeah, there you go. Because of the glare. Loretta Lynn. My mom loved Loretta Lynn. So every time I hear her, that's who I think about. Here's the Mary Jane Girls. Obviously, Rick James. There's Paul McCartney, Give My Regards to Broad Street. Everybody loves this album. Everybody loves it. You can't not love it. Give My Regards to Broad Street. Here's another Goodwill album. It's Star Wars and Other Galactic Funk by Miko. This one is a whole lot of fun to listen to. This is one of the first Goodwill albums I picked up. Another Goodwill album. Bobby McFerrin. Don't worry. Be happy. Simple pleasures. And sometimes life's simple pleasures are what's worth it. John Cougar, American Fool. Jack and Diane was one of my favorite songs when I was a kid. In fact, it might have been my first favorite song. My first favorite pop song. And I still have a very soft spot in my heart for Little Johnny Cougar. I got this one from eBay. It's an original pressing of Scarecrow. Still in the shrink with, all the... with the insert and everything. So I was happy to get it. It was like $5 or something. So totally worth it. Here's Men at Work, Two Hearts. Little gatefold there. Got some Men at Work. And here's another one of those Walmart $15 ones. Metallica. The Black Album. Self-titled, whatever you want to call it. Michael Guthrie Band, Direct Hits. This album is fantastic. I love this. This is a damn good album. Court and Spark by Joni Mitchell. It's another Goodwill album. Van Morrison, Moondance. Obviously a classic. Alison Moyet, I don't know how you say her name, but the name of the album is Alf. And I'm pretty sure that's why he included this in the collection. Because when I was a kid, I loved Alf. Olivia Newton-John, Totally Hot. Said if you can't tell, I'm trying to zoom through this a little bit. Because this is going on forever. Stevie Nicks, Belladonna. It's Stevie Nicks. Got Night Ranger, Dawn Patrol. We got Night Ranger, Midnight Madness. Oh, check out those dudes on the back. There's like a space alien or something. Spaceman getting a glowing piece of kryptonite. There's a Dracula. Some football players. I don't know what's going on there. This is the first album I bought. First new release album that I bought. Ozzy Osbourne, Patient Number 9. It's the red vinyl Target edition. It's alright. It's not my favorite Ozzy album, but it's fine. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, Southern Accents. Obviously, Tom Petty. It's a classic. My all-time favorite Liz Phair album. That's right, the self-titled Liz Phair, not Exile on Guyville. This is my favorite Liz Phair album ever. I Will Fight You. Get the Pink by The Pink. Don't know anything about this. Looks like an EP. It's only 5 songs. But Get the Pink. Speaking of Get the Pink, Pink Floyd, Wish You Were Here remastered. Haven't listened to this one yet. How about Pink Floyd Animals, the 2018 remaster. My favorite Pink Floyd album, and it's awesome. And I don't know what the fuck Spot's doing, but she's trying to kill me. We got Robert Plant, Now and Zen, his 1988 album. You hear her? I don't know what her deal is. I saw Robert Plant on this tour. It was my second concert. Cheap Trick opened. And I've always liked this album. And we've got The Police with Synchronicity. And that's it for this box. So, I'm going to cut it here and get rid of Spot for a second so she doesn't murder me. We'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Got Spot away. And I got my other box. A Goodwill album. Charlie Pride, From Me to You. Good stuff. Prince and the Revolution. Let's Go Crazy. Backed with Erotic City. So, it's got the single. Another Walmart $15 pickup. Prince, The Hits 2. You saw that in my pickup video. Now here's one that I got a fantastic deal on from Amazon. My brother messaged me and was like, hey, it's on sale for pretty cheap. I don't remember what the price was on it. But he was like, you need to pick it up. So I did. Prince, Welcome to America, the deluxe edition. With, like the book and all the goodies and stuff that's in it. And the DVD. All kinds of good stuff. I listened to it pretty much right away, and unfortunately, it's fine. It's not my favorite Prince album, but hey, I'm glad to have it in the collection. Queen, The Game. I mean, come on now, it's Queen. Another one rides the bus. Another one bites the dust. Crazy Little Thing Called Love. Don't Try Suicide. Queen Greatest Hits. Obviously. Queen Greatest Hits. Here you go. Here's an autographed copy of Red Cross Beyond the Door. You can see in the top corner there. It's autographed by someone. I don't know who it is, but there you go. Probably my favorite singer of all time. If not, he's right up there. I can never truly decide. Kenny Rogers, Greatest Hits. I love Kenny Rogers' voice. I don't care what anybody says. Kenny Rogers' voice just takes me somewhere that I like to be. And here is another one of the Walmart $15 pickups. The Stones. Hot Rocks. Greatest compilation album of all time? Probably. Rolling Stones, Tattoo You. Linda Ronstadt, Prisoner in Disguise. This is another of the Goodwill $1 albums. Haven't listened to this one yet. But, hey, there you go. Todd Rundgren and Wizard. No. Todd Rundgren. I can't read that shit. A Wizard, a True Star. There you go. I know a lot of his stuff, but I've never actually listened to that album yet. Here's another Goodwill one that I just picked up. I don't know why necessarily, except it's Carlos Santana and Mahavishnu John McLaughlin. Love, Devotion, Surrender. I haven't listened to that, so I don't know. But it's Santana, so hey. Seals and Croft. I'll Play For You. Instant collection. Here's another Goodwill one. Sly and the Family Stone. Fresh. For $1. There you go, Sly. Always good to have some Sly in the collection. Rick Springfield, Living in Oz. I love Rick Springfield. If I could have one man's baby, it would be Rick Springfield's. I don't care what you say. This might have been the first album I bought off of eBay. Hard to Hold soundtrack, Rick Springfield. Still in the original shrink. Still with the hype sticker. And it's got a Kmart sticker on it. $6.94. And Spot is back, so hopefully she doesn't start hissing at me again. Sheila E. Another, this was another Goodwill album. I listened to that. It's pretty good. Stars on Long Play. Stars on Long Play. What can you say? We're almost towards the end, so. Steve Miller Band, Abracadabra. See, this is another one that's in rough condition, but hey. Are there any notes on the inside of this one? Friday, October 15th, 1982. $6.20 from Walmart. Al Stewart, Year of the Cat. I listened to this one. Pretty good. I enjoyed it. Rod Stewart, A Night on the Town. Obviously, all of these classic songs on here. Rod Stewart. Here is Styx, which I don't... Cornerstone? Cornerstone. And it says on the back, "Hi, Chris." So, yeah. Here's another Goodwill album. Mel Torme, Prelude to a Kiss. That's right, Mel Torme. See, you never know what you're going to find in my collection. Here is Traffic. Shootout at the Fantasy Factory. This is another Goodwill. Another Goodwill pickup. And when I saw it initially, I thought it was all jacked up. Somebody had cut it up. But then I looked it up, and I realized that, no, that's how it's supposed to look. Van Halen, Women and Children First. Not my favorite Van Halen album, but hey, guess what? It does indeed have, I'm not going to unfold it right now, but it does indeed have the David Lee Roth poster. I need to get it and hang it up behind me somewhere. But no, I'm not going to do that. Now, I bought this album. This may have been before 2022. I wasn't collecting albums at the time, but I did find this at a Goodwill, and I picked it up. Coal Miner's Daughter, because once again, my mom. Here's The Who, Live at Leeds. Obviously a classic live album. The Who, Quadrophenia. You can't go wrong with The Who. The Who, Face Dances. Now, this is an album, incidentally, that I found the CD several times at Goodwill, and I've always been able to sell it on eBay because I have it on CD as well. Here's The Who. First studio album since 2006. And I believe it's just called Who. This is a Goodwill one. The disco single, Daytime, Nighttime, Suffering, and Good Night Tonight by Wings. Here's another Goodwill one. Stevie Wonder, In Square Circle. You usually can't go wrong with Stevie Wonder. In fact, how about some Stevie Wonder Intervisions? You definitely can't go wrong with that one. Fragile by Yes. Never been a huge Yes fan, but then again, I've never really given them the attention that they probably deserve. Neil Young, Decade. Neil Young, Greatest Hits. Now, obviously, this is one of the... there's a lot of stuff in here. Obviously, Neil Young, you can't get him on Spotify anymore. So if you want to listen to him, you got to physically own it, which is one of the benefits of having physical media. All right, I've only got two more left, so we're almost done. Frank Zappa, Overnight Sensation. I love me some Frank Zappa. You gotta love some Zappa. And the final album in my collection so far, Frank Zappa and the Mothers of Invention, One Size fits all. You got Inca Rhodes, you got Pajama People, you got Evelyn, a Modified Dog, Arf, and Florentine Pogan. So there you go. Whoa, I don't know what's up with the focus, but there you go. What do you think? That's a lot of albums to have collected in, 4 months? Now, granted, 106 of those came from Chris, so once again, thank you, Chris, for that, because it's incredible, and you gave me so much to listen to that I'm still, 4 months later, still digging through it. So thank you for that. Now, if you've managed to stick around this long, what's wrong with you? But it is appreciated, so I hope you've thumbed this up and subscribed and all that kind of stuff. And now that collection's out of the way, I can get back and start doing some more topic stuff. And like I said, I do plan on reviewing everything. I've got an idea for a Discogs random review. Basically, I'll just hit random item in my Discogs account. Whatever album comes up, we'll talk about it. I'll give a review, give my feeling, give some history on it. Should be fun. I don't know what's going on back here making all that noise, but hey, it is what it is. But anyway, thank you guys for joining and for tuning into the club. And if you've made it this far, you're a rock star. See you next time. Spot. What the hell? Spot! Why are you hissing at me? Spot. Spot. What the fuck is up with you?